and welcome to the Talk to Me America show, where the world wants to know what you have to say, so call me and tell them like it is. Welcome, welcome. It's another Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Central Time. That's the only time for me. Most say Eastern, but okay, you guys. I'm ldghwih, your hostess. Thank you for clicking on my little acre of the internet, to whichever it may be, ever little acre it may be. Everything seems to be working okay. You've got to let me know if you can hear me or not. Like everything's working so far. Excuse me. Hiya, Hallie. I see you down there on YouTube. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you being here. I hope you're doing well up there in New York. I'm doing pretty well. I'm actually getting over a cold now. It's one of the oddest experiences after having a stroke so far. I can't wait until something else happens. I am sick. It's real strange, but it's not bad. And I'm still getting better. I'm actually speaking better today than I have in a couple days. Sometimes it depends on whether I'm tired or not, or I don't know. I can't tell you. Comes and goes. Brain damage. That's what it's all about. Now I see what Joker said. What was it about? One thing about people that people want brain damage people do is act like they are not. So, hey, what happened? I'll go through here. I see a lot of people here today. I was actually surprised because isn't Trump gonna be live again? I know he had a 3 hour or an hour and a half speech on some New York financial committees boards or something like that or whatever, but I also kept hearing yesterday that he was going to do part 2 of the town hall. So let me know what's going on, because I couldn't find any place that would actually play that live unless it's one of those pay things. Couldn't. Let's see. I'm over today. I am excuse me. Today I am live streaming on Odysee, YouTube, Pilled.net, and Rumble. So welcome everybody. I'm going to start over here with Pilled because there's a lot of action going on. Stream has been connected. I see Mikey Baseball over there. Thank you for being here. Flip City Mag, let's go! And they gifted a cookie. I appreciate that, Flip City Mag. They are today's answer to Mad Magazine, and I'm actually mean the printed magazine. So you get one of these. Thank you very much.
Cookie! Nom, 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 oh, nom.
That's also the way to support the channel. Peel.net has all kinds of fun things. I'll just go over this real quick so I don't have to go over it anymore. Let's see who. Let's see. Oh, No Prisoners podcast. How's your internet doing over there? Anytime something like this happens to you, I always have a side eye for your neighbor. So, so I appreciate you being here, and I hope everything's going well, and that I can come and visit you in the morning. And Flip City Magazine. Make sure, actually, I think that's their website, Flip City Magazine. They have all kinds of specials, and they do digital magazines, but they also have the regular physical magazines available for you too. And actually, they're very funny. The art is impressive, and it really does remind me, without being too much like, it's unique, mainly because it's now and it's not woke. But you'll love their magazines, and they always have specials. In fact, I think they have. You have to remind me. You have some kind of special if they have a code for like 451 actual or for Prisoners podcast over here on Pilled. I try very hard to help advertise for everyone that supports me too. I do have a lot of creators of all kinds on my pages, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I realize as an artist myself, a lot of work, and very, very few people appreciate it these days. So let's show people what they're missing. You know, Cyborg, welcome to the show. Yes. All day. I feel you, man. Cyborg gifted a cookie over there. One of my neighbors, one like my purple, I think. Yeah, there's one on the website right now too. No two are ever gonna be exactly like you, but you do know that, right? Okay, but here you get one of these two.
Cookie! Nom, 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 oh,
One of my
nom.
favorite characters. Okay, over here on Rumble, I have Salty Old Fart, and hardly anybody else. What's Rumble? That's why I say, am I competing against President Trump again? Okay, and then of course, Hallie over here on YouTube. I hope, again, like I say, you're doing very well. I hope they don't get you too down up there. We haven't heard a lot about anything that's going on up there, but I'm going to show you some of the opposite. I don't know where all of these videos that I'm going to show you today have come from, but a lot of them are showing you that people are tired of being bullied. So I show you some cool stuff that have been found, and it's something, like I said, it goes through my feed so many times. It's almost like, Lord, show everybody that. Lord, show everybody that. Yes, share that. So yes, okay, that's all right. So this is what you get. 10% off, but I forgot what the code for 451 actual is. Anyone can remind me of that or remind us of that. And like I say, Flip City Magazine has a discount with the code from 451. I think he has t-shirts that you can, I don't know. There's a couple of things that you can use his code for to get money off, save money, okay, and things like that. Okay, over here on Odysee, let's see, Russian Bot, how are you doing? I'm going to go from the bottom up real quick. Salty Man Jamison, welcome to the show. Oh, Russian Bot, he posted a picture of one of my creations, a little Pepe. Actually, that one was named Pepe Loves You. Well, put it this way, Russian Bot, within the next 2 weeks, be watching, because I'm almost done with my next Pepe creation, and I think you'll like it. And Blankets, hello, Blankets. How are you doing? Welcome to the show. Okay, let's see. All right, I've mentioned everybody. No Prisoners podcast, of course, with Kevin's Katakazi and Feisty Ace with friends. I actually caught your guys' live feed this morning when I began to get my my show together, and you were having trouble with your OBS or something? Or are you getting a new platform other than Restream? And I was going to say, now you guys know why I refuse to ever go on it and especially pay for it. I'm glad my OBS works fine for now. Probably need a bigger computer soon, but I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm thinking about paying for Twitter, but only so that I can live stream. Sparky the Welder, welcome. All right, he says, Ray! Salty crackers of us all here. I watched him yesterday too. Sergeant Tripod, welcome over here. Welcome. Rumble and Cyborg says, I might buy the color, but good for her. Okay, and are you talking deep purple? Because believe it or not, I believe the nose and the feet, hands are like not quite purple, but like lighter purple. I don't know. And it's though that particular bear, if I'm not mistaken, is made with the recycled polyester. I think I showed everybody how they do. I want to. I'm your ninja. Welcome, welcome. Okay. All right. Pastor Chatelet with the pond, and if the pond is here, I don't see him yet, and that's another thing that tells me I'm competing against Trump. Red Dawn Radio, or as I like to call him, Tyrone. I haven't seen him in a while. I think I'm something else when he's on. Probably trying to make a video. Drunken Rocky on the right. Excuse me. On right after my show. Coffee Talk with Sandra, which also is on right after my show. Brain Not DJ based. Come on. All my friends and smeeks out there. Some guy from Maine. Not Rougarou. Not me be and Oomtown. And with the pureblood.tv. I won't go with it. They've improved it to where you don't have to scroll all the way up and down. It only shows you what's going on for that day or at that time of that day. And then you can click the same as before. You can click on there and they'll give you all of their links and how to take care support them and where to go and when to watch them and everything. So they've made improvements. Remember, it was down a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, oh no, please don't be gone, because I do use this sometimes. And of course, they've got a news site where they RSS all the most popular and the most reliable news sources. Limited access. Greetings. How are you doing? Welcome to the show. All right. And then, of course, another way to support my channel, other than the cookies and the fun stuff over there in Pilled, they really know how to party. There's super chats on Rumble and Odysee, of course, the memberships, and I've got links down below. I even have my own store now. I make my own merch, if you will. Nobody wants my face on their mug or their t-shirt. Besides, don't we have enough of those already? So I found a way to make things, toys. I can make clothes sometimes. I can make just about anything. There's the teddy bear that was actually, this teddy bear was made from similar pattern to the one that I made for you, Starborg. She does, they do, however you want to look at it. This website works funny. And like I say, if you want to email me something, and like this, she wanted deep purple, so I do have some of that. And let me know. Then I gotta make the eyes lighter. I design most of the stuff myself. I follow somewhat of a pattern, but once you get the hang of making the circles and the round pieces and everything, basically most of these pieces are based on that. So I've gotten to the point now where I can design my own. I can't wait to show you what I'm working on. I've got 2 more pieces to actually knit together or make, and then I got to sew all of the pieces together. But I can't wait to show you. But as an artist, even though I'm gonna restrain myself, because as an artist, you never ever show off unfinished work, and I never have, and so you'll just have to wait, just like me. I'm just as excited to see it as you guys are, and I've been picturing it in my head since I thought of it. So, but this is my shop, and like I say, it's down below. You go on there. You can also email me. I love custom orders, and like I said last week, sometimes I work with my supplies or yours. I've had people call me and say, "Look, my grandmother passed away. She left me all this jewelry. I'll never wear it. What can I do with it, or what will you do with it?" Now, you don't necessarily have to get a skull. I had one lady, big picture frame, like a 3D box thing. I made a decorative fleur-de-lis in the shape of a fleur-de-lis with all of her antiques. So I can do that. So I gotta find out for her. I want to know ASAP. Well, you know my email address, so honey, I try to read my email at least every day. So once a don't I get so much more junk, and it's weird because the more people request things, and not that I not as a matter of fact I would like more of that, but it seems like the more people request things, the more junk mail I get on top. Really strange how they're doing. I can remember you would sign up for one thing or buy something from somewhere, and then all of a sudden you 10,000 emails, everything from uh everything from penis enlargement to hair regrowth or it's, yeah, what it's like yeah. But that tells me also too that these people can't figure out what offer me because I don't really buy a lot of mainstream stuff. Really don't. Even my crafts I don't. Okay. All right. Of course, this guy, I love this guy. He's got some more fun with crochet, and I like I said, I think he's got a book out. If you guys do any kind of fiber arts and you want to do this, like if you have kids or whatever like that, he did lightsaber last week. But here is Brochet with his new dagger.
Crochet this sweet dagger. Let's finally test it out. It works! It works! I just crocheted.
I wonder if he's gonna show us how to crochet that brain. So yeah, I like anything creative, and he makes his own props. I mean, kudos, dude, kudos. Gotta like it, gotta like it. All right, support the channel, Ko-Fi, Cash App, blah 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 blah. So when we went over that already, while I was saying hello to everyone. Um, uh, main thing I can ask you to do: share, X me out wherever you are at and everything. You may even have some, if you're watching me on your phone or on your iPad, you may even have somebody in your contacts that you say, hey, I bet this person like her or Barbara or whatever. Jared, never know. There's Pastor Chatelet. All right, guys, straighten up, act normal. The meanest man is here. Welcome, Pastor Chatelet. How are you tonight? Thank you for being here. Am I competing with Trump this evening? Or I saw it like 9 o'clock, but that was last night. I haven't found anything about part 2 yet, so they mentioned. So I don't know. Please keep me up to date. All right. All right. And of course, share. Click the like button. And of course, I appreciate you being here because you are keeping the freedom of speech trend going, especially when you make phone calls. That's why I'm here. Because from what I can see, and really what I can see, I saw a chart today saying that we're at 65% for Trump. From somebody who's never been wrong. I put it this way, I take one day at a time, and I can't predict the future. Nobody can. We'll see. And you see what happened in 2016. There's no way you can trust the polls. Sometimes as a matter of fact, I'm actually more apt to think that they're using the polls against us by saying, "Oh, look at how far ahead of you are. You can just relax, kick back, and get complacent, and then we lose." Oh no, no, Drunken Rocky, there he is. All right, how are you doing? Tetris, welcome. Like I say, well, I can see we're winning, but we can't become complacent. Please don't do that. That's how we got here in the first place, and that's another thing that I can show you, that the pendulum is swinging. All right. Besides, again, no matter what, if Christ is with us, we've already won anyway. All right. I've already gone through the chat. I'll pick you guys up as you come in. Like I said, please share. We want everybody to enjoy the show and call in or whatever. I must have missed something. Sorry. Anyway, breaking news, or should I say, we'll get started here. Should I say stuff we already knew, but was now being confirmed? And this to me is a small redeeming segment, to me anyway, for Steven Crowder. I didn't totally dislike him. I just wasn't going to support him after what I saw him do to his wife. I think there's better ways of handling that. Of course, you know, he's got his problems too. And the protection that he takes care of, it's not easy. I mean, hell, I do this by myself and I've got nobody. Imagine, well, even imagine this. He's even taken up and doing some of the things that, what is his name? The other guy that got kicked out of his own corporation for doing undercover work. So I think this was great. We got a doozy of an undercover admission here, but again, it isn't anything that most of us here, my audience and Trump supporters in general, don't know. Let's face it, even Trump supporters that are brand new that have switched over can see this, can already see this. So let's, and actually, that's one of the reasons why some of them have switched. Okay, so let's see what Steven Crowder has uncovered. I know probably some of you have already seen this. This happened at about 11 o'clock this morning. But again, it's today. And it happened on the day that I do my feed. And I think it's extremely important, especially to the new ones that have come over to us. All right, check this out.
To be clear about something on the outset, the person you'll be watching today is not the bad guy here. Unwitting whistleblower? Yeah. Nicholas Biasi is the Chief of Public Affairs for the Department of Justice's Southern District of New York. Something you may be familiar with, and the most prominent federal trial court in America.
Those felonies did nothing to stop Trump from running.
No, in fact, they made him more relevant.
Did that backfire?
Sure did.
And
The whole thing is disgusting. They're just out to get him. And that's why, like, he's surging in the polls. It's a perversion of justice. He was stacking charges and, like, rearranging things just to make it fit a case. No, to be honest with you, I think the case is nonsense. State levels are the Wild West. They're like idiots. They don't care. They're all political. So yeah.
He's talking about state governments now, and as far as that goes, or state lawmakers or law keepers or whatever you want to call it. And this, like I say, he's in charge of public relations. He's the one that actually is the one that probably, covers for, and he says this isn't the bad guy. He's an unwitting whistleblower. I actually tend to disagree there, because this guy knows, well, he's going to admit to you, he's known the New York District Attorney for a very long time. And the only main reason he's doing this, indictments and switching everything around and making everything this law and that law and arresting Trump and everything like that, is for his own political gain. Watch.
This guy's probably going to try to lock him up, and it's going to be ugly.
It already is.
They're so obsessed with getting him.
who is they?
Alvin Bragg, who I've known for 15 years, who used to work in my office. Before he decided to prosecute Trump, did you know who he was? You do now. I'm not sure what he wants to be, but I know he's not happy just being the DA of New York County. So Alvin's very ambitious. Every real estate person in New York does what he did. Nobody's ever been charged with this until him.
Mr. Biasi is just saying the quiet part out loud. The part that unfortunately matters. Lawfare? Yes. Why? because Biasi openly says so. The ones from Alvin Bragg are a particular perversion of justice. Out.
Are those even actual felonies? Because I was pretty sure that.
He was stacking charges and like rearranging things just to make it fit a case. No, to be honest with you, I think the case is nonsense. Every real estate person in New York does what he did. Nobody's ever been charged with this until him. And that's why like he's surging in the polls. It's a perversion of justice.
Those felonies did nothing to stop Trump from running.
No, in fact, they made him more relevant.
Yeah, they sure did.
Did that backfire?
Sure did.
And that was that Alvin Bragg's choice to do that? Or
Yep.
why?
Because Alvin's very ambitious.
Very ambitious.
He wants to be, something. I don't know what. Mayor. I'm not sure what he wants to be, but I know he's not happy just
He
being
wanted to be famous, just like all the rest of them.
So this is like before he decided to prosecute Trump. Did you know who he was? You do now.
What was the point of even doing it then?
To make him a convict.
Make him what?
A convicted felon.
Turn him into a convicted
But he
felon.
can still run for presidency and.
Yeah, but it affects his candidacy if he's a convicted felon.
I was trying to count the losses. I was like, I wonder how many are against him. I think it's called lawfare.
Yes,
That's what I have gathered from that.
that is what they call it.
So how does
I still don't understand how some of these people don't get suspicious when they start talking about stuff like this. Start asking, and even using the terminology as if they're paying attention. But like I said, this guy isn't necessarily a great guy in my opinion. One that this guy isn't, because he disagrees with Bragg, but he hasn't opened his mouth. He knows what Bragg is doing is incorrect, is wrong, and everything like that, but he hasn't said anything. He won't say anything. So yeah, don't unwitting whistleblower. Nah, more like you're fucking busted, dude. And so is your associations there and everything. He worked with Bragg for 15 years. He knows the guy. He knows exactly what he's like. So yeah, watch.
I mean, at the federal level where I work, there is a 90-day rule where you can't make any decisions on cases that are going to affect an election.
Now you know why they didn't a whole bunch federal, and why the federal stuff with the guy with the mustache. I can't remember all these guys' names. Sorry. But now you know why he keeps getting turned down. Told to, hey, look, chill out, will ya? I always wonder how hot the undercover people. I don't know, but a majority of them at least pretend to be, because a lot of Chiefs people seem to be gay. One that they catch working in these departments, give up this stuff and everything. Like the one kid that they caught in the restaurant. Oh, well, I was on a date. Of course I would lie to try and get somewhere. Like, why would you lie about that? It is probably classified, or at least shouldn't be shared with anybody. But again, these people get in these positions and think they're important, and so far they've programmed a lot of the women love nothing but money. So, but it's rolling over into the gays too. They're what can I tell you? The heart wants what the heart wants, and usually that's fame and fortune. Oh, yeah, all of this stuff is meant to affect this election. They literally thought that criminalizing someone after they made criminals okay, more than okay, was going to work for them. Now, I'm not saying that the people that love him or want to be part of his campaign or are criminals. Actually, they're not. They've turned him into a criminal. There's a difference. All right? Of course, the truth, doesn't matter to these people. What can I tell you? And David Crowder asks the question, how did we get here? Well, I'll give you an answer to that. Usually he comes up with this stuff too. But people were placed in positions of power because of their identities, along with their promises that they never keep. All right? Just elect me one more time. Elect me one more time and we'll definitely get your promises done this time. Then what happens? The exact opposite. Always. Been that way for the last 50 years, if not longer. All right, the exact opposite. Then the blame goes to the other side. Except after this 60 years of that, the truth starts actually coming out. Everyone's starting to notice that there is no other side or to be found. Leaving what the people who are pointing wants to fault for this shit. They've been chased out a long time ago. In fact, one of my first videos was about how I don't remember who was a governor at the time, but there was an article about, Republicans are this, and they're not welcome here anymore. They essentially chase them all out of the area, and who takes over? While they blame Republicans, or while they blame the other party that hasn't existed in that area for how long? People are starting to notice this stuff. All right, so now, and of course, just the timing of most of this stuff, like the criminalization and even this very convenient yet tragic school shooting in Georgia. But I'll talk about that in a minute. But even the timing of this stuff happening, admitted lawfare, we just saw, and anyone with two brain cells rubbed together can see what's been going on. I mean, just the timing of all of this stuff alone should show anybody what's going on. So do you think, because you never really get to know what happens to these people. Occasionally you do. Most of them you do, not all of them. I don't know whether or not they'll tell us or anything like that, or he'll come out and say anything. Because I didn't know who this was until this came out, so he's not a very public person that I know of. But what do you think this person will come up with as an excuse when somebody confronts him with it? You think he'll have an excuse for what he confessed? Oh, I was lying. I could get into her pants, which is a real creepy. I mean, it's one of those things you look bad at this no matter what you say. You're busted. Like I say, you're fucking busted. You're done. All right? Once this kind of stuff comes up, lie or not. And people don't get in trouble for lies either. So, not anymore. Anyway, so or do you think he'll be hushed up or fired? I hope that Crowder does follow-ups on this, but I guess we'll see. Alrighty, I am going to open the phone lines. Roll very soon. I'm going to open the phone lines right now. I forgot. Setting. Windows loves to reset everything. I don't understand why. And it's almost like it does it while the computer's off. I don't leave the computer on all the time. Okay, everything seems to be working so far. I won't know. I won't know if it's totally working until somebody calls me. All right. So. All right. Question of the day. Is it me, or has this week's news, other than this tidbit that I just went over today, been on loop? It seems like everyone is covering what's been said, how it's been said, with where can the accent. I'm still gathering my voices back yet. It's good though that I can do Vincenzo pretty good still. So, but I mean everyone is covering, what's been said, what's been worn, who is going where. They've even started pulling out the Russia bull crap again, and they're talking everything Russia hoax from the what they're saying about the jab to the pox. It's just it's all Russian misinformation, as if anyone here would listen to Russian information. They have been so down on Russia. Anybody with two brain cells to rub together thinks, really, Russia? They debunked it, and we hate them. So why are we listening to them? Why is anybody listening? But they're trying to convince you that the Republicans are listening to them, or conservatives, or whoever. It's whoever doesn't agree with them. Now everybody's Russian nation. I guess that the racism and the sexism and all this other stuff isn't working, so they're going back to Russia again. So yeah, good luck with that. But how much has been really said about the school shooting? Even though they covered it live, pretty much. But while they were doing that, they didn't really have a lot of information. They were covering, waiting for information. And of course, I'm seeing a lot of it didn't even come out till today. The last thing I had seen yesterday before I went to bed was that they had the person in custody, and they're already charging him as an adult, a 14-year-old, whatever it is, already. How did they determine that? Have they gone to the hearing for the indictment for or anything yet? Probably they're still investigating before they pull us in front of a judge. But yeah, everybody's all of a sudden saying they're gonna try him as an adult. Can we find some shit out first? So everyone's wants to be the first to say that, but I think that's mainly because of who he is. Now the family is supposedly saying that they're gonna stand by him. He's a 14-year-old kid. More than likely, something on the internet made him tweak out. Either that, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is his parents' fault," and then the cops knew about him because he put stuff on the internet. He put stupid stuff on the internet, and they went and interviewed it, and they didn't immediately take the father's guns away. Well, yeah, they would have been violating his Second Amendment. He could have sued the shit out of them for that. A 14-year-old kid, again, where was his brain? Was he noodly? Was he being taught that he was something that other than he is? Was he being, it's a shame he did what he did, but for a 14-year-old kid to do something like that, but for everybody to say, "Oh, his parents are at fault because of this." No. They may be at fault because they never disciplined him. They've also said that he was some kind of a brat. And I don't mean the good kind. They're trying to turn that into a good word now. "Oh, she's so brat." Brats are a doll. Or an insufferable toddler. Just got off work and got dinner in the oven. Oh, I see why Pastor wasn't here right away. Was shooter a tranny goofball? No, Bobby Digital. It was 14-year-old boy. Like I said, they're supposedly saying that he's had some kind of trauma, and of course, the extra bullying and everything like that. I'm not real sure that they've actually, which is not a bad thing, they've actually been talking more about the survivors and to the survivors than they have about the shooter, because again, he doesn't need to be famous, and we don't need any copycats on this. It sounds like, from talking to some of the kids, he was somewhat of a loner. But they haven't really. Every time I see a little tidbit like this here, there's almost a 3-minute video here that I got finished watching. Appalachia High School shooting victim sister speaks out. But the whole thing is the newscaster's talking, asking her a question. She said 3 words in this broadcast. Basically, they spoke for her. They said that she said something about it. She's going to miss out on all the memories she could have made with him, and he was just a loving kid and everything like that. And when she actually got on camera, she said 3 words, and then they finished all of the rest of the stuff that she supposedly said. So I don't know. I don't know. First and foremost, let me say though, please, Lord, place your hand on those mourning this tragic event and hold the victims close to you. The only place I've seen this, though, is on my feed on X. And 1 or 2 little mentions of it. Even all the right-wing pundits that I listen to and watch. And a few people, every once in a while, one little thing will come up. But they paid a really, really load of attention to it while it was happening. And of course, the usual gun control, blah blah blah. Everything's coming out from the politicians, but screw them. I'm not listening to them. All right, we find out that this alleged shooter is Colt Gray, 14-year-old whose evil tendencies were ignored until he fired upon people in a place that was supposed to be safe for children, leaving 2 students and 2 teachers dead, and 9 or more people injured. This is, to me, another repeat story, all the way down to the end, except for the fact that they did not eliminate him in order to get him to stop shooting. But they knew about this guy as he posted supposed terroristic threats on social media, basically threats to shoot up a school. And actually, now I kept hearing something else too, but it didn't sound right, that the school board or somebody basically got warned that 5 schools were going to be attacked. I'm not sure if that's just the first one or if they've named any other. I don't think they have. Again, we're getting such little tiny bits and pieces from everybody. And again, little. I mean little. Like I said, they let the sister say 3 words. They said everything else for her. So I'm not really sure. But my first thought, especially when everybody's attention started to be catching on that, and they were watching it live, they basically, again, were watching and hovering, waiting for the next tidbit of information to possibly come out, listening to the radio, the cop radios and things like that. But maybe they're trying to divert our attention away from something like this.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, it's 320,000 missing children. And here we are in a house of worship, a house of the Lord. And we as Christians, that alone should be a reason to vote for Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance.
Absolutely right.
That right there. And
actually, that wasn't the point. The whole point was the first sentence. He said what did he say? 320,000 missing children. That's from around the world. And most of them are probably gone. Or they're child labor or sex trafficked or any number of things. They might even be mules. You never know. So they might also be trying to divert our attention away from this. They learned just enough English in Turkey to tell us Yankees to go home. Actually, I found out later that is a far left group over there that is anti-American, I think they call them a communist group over there, which they do this kind of thing all the time to the sailors and the Marines. But again, it's something I never knew about until just now. And then when I looked into it, I found out that they've been doing this kind of stuff since 2012. And maybe even before. But it's a small group of lefties, just like we have over here. They just have more guts than the lefties over here. Lefties over here will scream you down, but a lot of times they won't kidnap you. Most times they won't kidnap you. Let's see. Cyborg, what am I missing over here? Looks like you're having a conversation with yourself. Let's see. It is a proper name. Satan is the proper name, but has meaning too. Just as God has a proper name, Jehovah, which means to cause, to become, or the creator. You have authority in Jesus. Okay, you guys are talking to each other about that. That's true. That's true. Very good. Very good. Let's see. Limited access says hematoma at the cartilage looks like a bubble. Psi means dollars for surgery. Again. Oh, is that your... What is that? Your kitty? Or your kid? Sorry, was trying to figure out what was wrong with the... Oh, cat's ear. Okay. Oh, little sweetie. I hope it's not too bad. Maybe it's just a cyst. That'd be easier. Let's see. Zom! Ree! How are you How are you, my friend from down under? How's everything going down there? Let's see. I haven't heard too much down there, except for the fact that people are attacking Sydney Watson for her review of The Accolade and why Disney and these people are failing with this sci-fi stuff. I mean, I'm all for women's sci-fi, but at least make it believable. There's no, you can't have a fire in the middle of outer space. I'm sorry, but that it's just not, there's no oxygen. You know, I mean, again, at least make it somewhat believable. You know, follow some of the laws of physics at least. Because, I mean, that was one of the first things that I noticed about that episode. It's like, wait a minute. She's standing there with a spacesuit on and has to have assistance in breathing. But there's a raging flame in front of her. Right. And of course, don't have every woman beat up giant men and everything. That's not realistic either. Or at least if you're gonna have them beat the man, at least have them get a few lumps there on their own. But I digress. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. Like I said, but they're still, you know, they covered this a little tiny bit. Most of the stuff that I've captured today with regards to news is on X, and I'm not seeing a lot of it on anybody else. And so many of these people are covering the same thing over and over, and they all say the same thing about it. It's like, okay, I get it. There are more things happening than just Kamala with a southern drawl. You know, instead of bringing her attention to that, why not bring her attention to, hey, there's people down there dying, you know, and it's your fault because you won't take care of, you know, you won't make it illegal to just cross over the border. You know, those terrains out there, talk about rough terrains. And I don't think little children should be out there for a lot of reasons. They're also trying to make sure that we forget this. Oh. I won't let anybody forget if I have to show that every day. That really and truly, if you look at that though, the fight part, but when they carry him off like this, that almost looks staged because he everybody starts that looked weird to me, but what can I tell you? Oh, and they're trying to make us forget this, and this is something, if I have to, I will remind you, because if she can do that when she was 22 years old and in charge. Imagine if she becomes president.
I learned, I think I was, 22 when I started that work. I learned that with the swipe of my pen, I could charge someone with the lowest level offense. And because of the swipe of my pen, that person could be arrested. They could sit in jail for at least 48 hours. They could lose time from work, and their family maybe lose their job. They'd have to come out of their own pocket to help hire a lawyer. They'd lose standing in their community. All because of the swipe of my pen.
And she would do it for no reason or any reason.
But their life would forever be changed.
No, their life would be ruined.
So I learned at a very young age the power. I learned.
Yeah, the power that you have and that you have slit your way up to the top for. I had somebody get mad at me. Oh, not all women do that. I didn't say all women did, just her. Well, how do you know? Because her ex-boyfriend brags about it. Everybody in California knew. They talked about it. They talk about it. All right. So how about this? They probably want to hide stuff like this too.
Stunning to monitor the media's lack of interest in the whole Maui story. I've been in this business for 30 years. I'm stunned, but I'm not surprised. The incident seems to be the story here, right? But the true story the media knows is not allowed to tell. Is it a coincidence that the Maui police chief is the same man who was in charge in Las Vegas during that massacre that killed 58 people? Is it a coincidence that the Maui property, owned by million and billionaires, wasn't touched by the flames while homes of the locals all burned?
What she fails to also mention is how the media hasn't even once interviewed a grieving parent. Not a single parent looking for their children. Not a single interview with a child. Not a single interview with the schools.
Was it a coincidence that the largest system of outdoor emergency sirens in the world never made a sound as the fire devoured Lahaina? Was it a coincidence that at the same time, very same time, all the water was turned off? Was it a coincidence that police were ordered to block off streets and to funnel all the cars trying to escape? Think about this coincidence. That governor also signed an emergency proclamation on July 17th, 3 weeks before the fire, about housing of all things. Is it a coincidence that the government put up a black fence around Lahaina, or that the FAA grounded all drones from flying over the affected areas? Is it a coincidence that since at least 2011 there have been plans to make Maui the first smart city run by 100% renewable energy? And that it must be a coincidence then that the locals whose homes did not burn are now being evicted from their property. And of course, a total coincidence that all the fact checkers who are checking these facts, who say everything I just told you is just a coincidence, are also owned and run by BlackRock.
According to the caption on there, she is dead now. They have offed her. She's no longer with us, supposedly. She was, But the truth is out there. The internet is forever. As a matter of fact, I think they might have even been wanting to hide this. Oops. They deleted it already. Uh-oh. Let me see. Oh, wait. I found it. Let's see. Maybe they want to hide this stuff. Especially someone who continues to use the words weird.
Hey, real quick, can you guys tell me who this is in this video? I'm just having like the hardest time placing who that is.
I'm not.
I just thought like maybe you guys could help me.
Can you, do you guys have any idea who that was? Can you tell me before I let her tell you? There was a YouTuber that was covering Lahaina closely, and he's appeared completely. Yep, I'm not surprised. Make it stop. But tell me, did you recognize that person in the crop top and the chaps, shall we call it? It's Rocky Fluffernutter. That's cute. Salty Matt Jameson wins the prize. Ding, 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 ding. Tim Waltz. I'd like to know. I'd like to know who the cowboy in the scooter was. What the hell is that about? You see him there? See him right there behind him. He rolls in behind him and everything, but I don't know how to. I guess people always have these kind of tendencies, but if they don't get, I don't know, called out on it. So yeah, this. I wonder, actually, nobody else I've seen mentioned this so far, but then again, I had to look for this picture again, look for this thing again. I wonder how close he is to Zelensky, now that we see this. Didn't they debunk that, Bobby Digital? The horse involvement or whatever. Election year, documenting the decline. Okay, good. I don't know how long ago he posted that, and actually this came up while I was first starting to get this stuff together, and I was like, oh God, that is definitely something that they would be hiding. And it's like, were they at the Blue Oyster bar here? You know what? And again, what's with the cowboy on the scooter? I How is that even possible? Nah, it's totally fact checked. It's true. Okay, I'll believe you. You guys don't usually lie to me, and we try not to be sensationalists. Anyway, I also think that they are trying to divert us from noticing that the pendulum is swinging back to where people are tired of the crybabies. They realize that no one else is going to defend them and their families against these folks too. For usually, these poor families, most of them are usually just going about their own business, trying harder and harder to survive what's going on. These cry bullies, we have noticed that they have contributed absolutely nothing but hot air and body odor, while expecting everyone else to act and sacrifice for them because these educating fools have insulted and shamed people into it, or into action. Which, by the way, doesn't ever happen. You can't insult and belittle people forever. You can't do it. You know, you get somebody and they say they're sorry, and then you still keep them. Their ears have closed by that time. It's like, hey man, I said I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? And I'm going to show you something else about that. Even the nicest people, including the great JC, have their limits and their lines that they don't want crossed, you know. But these educated idiots actually have the audacity to act like they're holier than everybody else as they belittle and try to shame folks about sometimes stuff they have no idea, never heard of, don't know. Again, they're trying to survive. They don't give a shit about people's pronouns, and just that stuff is so what's the word? Not incoherent. Insignificant. It just is insignificant. Okay? Sometimes, like I say, again, a majority of these folks are just trying to survive, and the ideas and demands from the highest of the educated people, most of which is against human nature, you know, it goes against a person's primal instincts even, you know, are coming from these meaningless mantra-loving freaks. I have a moral high ground because I am educating the uneducated, the dirty masses about human decency. I spent $100,000 on my education. Big whoop. You're a broke educated idiot. Okay, I tell everybody all the time, talk about, you know, I've got a degree myself, but I thank God every day that I didn't let them talk me into some liberal arts or some what is that gender studies or some kind of weird studies. I was in IT. I consider myself to have a technical degree. So, but you know, basically about they're everybody else to them is uneducated about human decency, while I act, present, and in a lot of cases, I'm sure they smell intolerable. If people refuse to be educated and do the work. I'm so tired of hearing that. You know, it's like they can't explain anything. They want everybody to understand, but they don't have anything to say. And they just point at you. Do the work. Well, they can't ever tell you what the work is. And they're secure in the fact that any and all work will never be good enough or enough, period. It never is. They've set it up that way. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. But these people think that they're above it because they point it out to everyone and make sure that folks are aware. I am therefore allowed to treat you and beat you over the head with it, both figuratively and literally. And as we find out, lawfully too. Now, you saw what I just showed you. Exactly what they're trying to do. Trying to criminalize Trump and keep him off the ballots. Like I said before, by any means necessary. Thankfully, the truth is coming out before the election. Hopefully, this will be a big bump. All right. And of course, with them, it's all love and tolerance until you question their knowledge and motives about this stuff. And then they don't practice what they preach. And God forbid you should ever encounter a violent one, or one that has no problems getting violent with you. But I'm here to tell you, blue hairs and activists and the folks they advocate for who ruin everything for everyone else, just trying to survive the already hardships of life that our elite fool them into and make our lives harder and harder every day. And with every strike of their pen, and believe me, don't think they won't do it. If you listen to these people enough, they will tell you exactly who they are. And they show you on top of it, as you can see on the screen. Okay, so, but I'm noticing, and this is something, like I said, this is something that kept coming over. Obviously, I had to share it with you. People's balls are starting to descend, and they have begun to I think, to go into self-defense survival mode. They're not going to take it anymore. I do, like I said, I've seen a lot of them come across my feeds in the last 2 days, and I'm going to share them with you. Don't forget, the phone lines are open. All right. We start with this gentleman right here. I believe his name is Adam Francisco. You may or may not have seen him before. He's out here talking to somebody with a Trump flag and wearing a Trump shirt. The guy, they're not even really talking politics or anything. They hadn't started talking about anything. But here we go.
Look at this weird guy. He's never looked at waiting his life.
Oh, by the way, this Adam Francisco has edited this for more effect. It's pretty cool, though. If that doesn't look like a toddler getting ready to throw a fit.
Are you really going to hit me? You want to go to jail for assault?
Ah, made you think, huh? Oh, God. God. Oh, soy boy, that hurts so
You
much.
look like Thomas Crooks. Thomas Crooks. You could.
Yeah, buddy.
Crazy. You better get out of here. Forget your ass kicked. What a psycho. You're about to go viral, motherfucker.
And of course, I do believe he did. So, there you go. Here we go. That's the kind of thing. And actually, I think when I saw this on somebody else's feed and went and found it myself, that person happened to mention these are the people that are threatening civil war. These are the ones that are threatening to win over. You know what I mean? This is one of the reasons I'm not worried about that kind of thing at all. Not yet, anyway. But they are bringing in some people that might be a threat, maybe. You have to watch out for everybody in these days. What can I tell you? Then we have this hero. I hope you can see it. I couldn't find the original, but you will get the idea if you can see this.
There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to know it.
The bystander even... Yeah, the bystander even went in. Do I see... Oh, hello, Lizzie Longtoes, my famous friend. How are you doing? I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much for being here. Chat is dead on Rumble. Yeah, everybody's just listening to me and watching what I'm saying. I'm basically showing everybody that people are a bunch. I've actually got a bunch of videos that shows how people are sick of these people that are being allowed to hurt other people, rob, steal, just do other things. People are tired of it, and they realize that they're not going to get any help from the cops that have been demoralized, among other things, and defunded and everything like that. They realize that nobody's coming to save them, and so it's time that they have the American attitude about this kind of stuff. So, yes, that's why the title. That's what the title of this show is all about. Okay, looks like we have. But yeah, this punk kid comes in out of nowhere and just starts wailing on some stranger. I'm not real sure if he stole from him or whatever like that. Scared shit out of his poor little dog and everything like that, you know. And of course he's vulnerable. He's alone and everything. He didn't think that anybody was gonna come to this guy's rescue. Like I say, that with the cops and everything, and people being let out with no bail and all this other stuff, and getting away with murder and everything else, people are starting to be more and more bold because they think, hey, I'm going to get away with it anyway. Why not? And the general public, it looks like, and actually, I've only got a few. There's actually hundreds of these videos where people are just not taking shit anymore. You get in somebody's face, or if you hurt somebody else, or if you take advantage of somebody that's not that may be disadvantaged or crippled even, or disabled, or older, vulnerable. Stand up for your brother. That's actually one of the things that God wants us to do too. You know, you are your brother's keeper. You know, especially when, you know, he says take care of the indigent and the children and the widows. That's our job to do that if we're stronger enough. Lizzie Longtoes, thank you so much. I'm not trying to be eepy. You can too, Keck. I'll match you, Lizzie. Thank you, Bobby Digital, both of you, with the donations over there on, excuse me, on Odysee. One for each of you.
Hey, look, green paper.
Green paper!
Hey, look, green paper.
Green paper!
Appreciate that, and that's how it's done. I will remind you all that anything that that comes to me through this show or through any of these websites of mine, it all goes directly right back into the show to improve things, and hopefully so that I can work more too. One day I'm going to have to retire. I almost had to retire from a real job, but as you can tell, I'm speaking a lot better today, and I have actually been able to sing better than I talk. So this weekend ought to be good. Thank you, sweetheart, keeping me hydrated. Anyway, okay, where was I? Wire, thank you very much for being here, and thank you for the donation over there on Odysee. He says, I am not taking shit anymore, but may start throwing it.
Green paper! Green paper!
Well, a lot of people are starting to throw it back and teaching people their lessons. Pretty good, Lizzie. I haven't really actually started it, but I did find a great pattern. I'm sorry, I'm so slow. I'm almost done with one project, and I've got like 5 of them on the needles right now, so I'm trying to be disciplined and finish one before I keep working on, because I'll work on a little bit here, and none of them are ever going to get done. So I'm going to work on them one at a time and get them done. So, but I got you. I still got you. As a matter of fact, I've got another special order coming up too. So, so I don't mean to be slow, but again, I can't help it. Put it this way, I was slow and clumsy before I had this stroke. Can you imagine what it's like now? All right, so let's see. Now, here is someone that has had enough of these younger generations that call, well, actually, they're about the same generation, but some of these girls that think that everything is, just do anything, screw as many people as you want, have as many abortions, all this, everything when you want, will literally talk down to someone who has decided to make the other choice in life. And I'm glad to see it, because this girl lets her know. Sigh, I sure hope you can get back to singing soon. I know how frustrating it is not being able to do your passion. Yes, sir. I have been doing some. There's some songs that I can't quite get out yet. They're getting better all the time. I've had to change my set list a little bit, but I'm not doing too bad. It's not bad enough to where everybody's noticing and like I get booed or anything like that. Now I feel self-conscious about it, but thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Excuse me. And let's see, you get one of these.
Cookie! Nom 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 nom.
Donated the cookie over there on pill.net. If you guys haven't checked out pill.net yet, that is the epitome of free speech. It's not anything like any of the other ones. There's, of course, no platform is going to let you talk about anything against the law, but it's First Amendment. If you want to be an asshole, be an asshole. The consequences will come from the customers, the people that are on the site. So anyway, I like this lady here because, like I say, she is what they consider an alternative lifestyle, and to be honest with you, she is actually what is the norm that they want to try and talk everybody out of.
Don't understand that this modern world and all this beautiful technology around you that you're sitting in right now, if it weren't for men building that and maintaining that, you would have no illusion of being able to be a strong, independent woman and have all these choices and do what you want.
But why do men do all of that?
They do it because they're benevolent and they are good. Isn't that crazy? They're actually really nice.
But they're getting something out of you.
If men were as bad and misogynist.
Okay, but they're getting something out of you. Why shouldn't they? I mean, it still has to be consensual, of course, but why wouldn't you give to someone who has given you so much? Someone who you know would be able to protect you. This person has evidently been taught that all men are bad. Either that or she grew up without a father. Bad number 9. Glad to see you looking and sounding good. Thank you so much. You get one of these.
Hey, look, green paper. Green paper.
Appreciate the donation over there on Odysee. welcome to the show. I appreciate you being here. We are talking about people that have decided they're not taking anyone's shit anymore. I've actually got hundreds of examples, but I tried real hard to pick out some of the best ones. The ones that felt like I had to share them with you. All this stuff is compelled by a higher power, and I hope it touches you or makes you think or, changes your mind about. I basically want everyone to know that we are not alone in this stuff. And people are starting to watch the pendulum swing once again.
Misogynistic as you think, they would put us in cages and we'd be, baby farms.
You're a bit of a baby farm. Haven't you popped out 5 children?
Yeah, you're a bit of a bitch. Trying to insult her now for this, okay? Oh, you're a bit of a baby farm. Listen to this.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
a baby
mother.
farm.
Would you like me to go wake up my children and get them down here too so you can tell them that they're like gross little
I don't think it's appropriate.
I mean, take your little snarky little insults and shove them up because you are a useless heifer who has never done anything except
You're
glorify your
a
own
great
desire.
woman.
You don't understand.
Useless heifer, she calls her. And yeah, but, it's okay for them to make up all kinds of names and make it sound like what you do is not okay and all this other stuff and everything. When, again, these people are in the minority. They're just the loudest. Okay, but I like it when people get back and, hey, you useless heifer, get out of my face. Nobody's forcing you to live like I live, But you don't have the right to tell me how I want to live, just like I don't tell you. I have an opinion about the way that you live. I think the way that you live is wrong, but I can't tell you, hey, you can't do that. Just like you should shut your mouth when it comes to my decisions. And again, people are getting tired of being bullied by people like this, or should I say belittled by people who have nothing, have done nothing, contribute nothing to anybody. To anybody. And, actually, if you look at a lot of them and listen to them, including themselves. Let's see, where am I? All right, here, some Americans, well, only Americans from what I can tell, but this was great. Obviously, these people were forewarned about what was going to happen during the Olympics. This is something actually that I was warned about in any foreign country that I ever went to, especially the big cities, especially large gatherings and everything like that. Evidently, it is still a thing. It sounds almost like you're walking back into the 1800s with some of the traditions that these countries have. But check this out.
Pickpocketers in France were seen celebrating the end of the Olympics, as many of them had been physically harmed as they attempted to pickpocket Americans. They thought they were going to be back in business, but what they didn't know is that a bunch of Americans stayed behind to do a little sightseeing after the Olympics, and they ordered a bunch of fake Louis Vuitton bags. And then they opened those bags and treated that thing like a porta potty, dropping a Texas-sized dump right inside. One person in the group was an engineer who was able to install lighters inside the bag so that when it was opened, it would immediately light the contents on fire. And then the Americans are out there pranking the French for their YouTube prank channel, and these guys are stealing this literal bag of crap, opening it up, and it's catching on fire. You've got little French guys opening the bag and then burning themselves in the face with this poop fire. I mean, they're gonna get a staph infection like that. And look, I don't know what the Americans' diet is, but whatever they're dropping out the other side, it was leaving these French guys dizzy and nauseated as they kind of waddled about the Eiffel Tower after. Pickpocketers in France.
Now, I don't know how true that is, and I was going to say, complete with engineer and everything. That's kind of, although I have seen some booby-trapped purses and things like that where it blows poop or chocolate pudding up into their face or something like that as soon as they open the purse and move something around or anything like that. But the only and that was my first thing too. Why is there no video? I need to see that. Yeah, I would. if they were really gonna get back at him, they should have videoed it. But again, if they were pickpockets, it probably was hard to know exactly when something was gonna hit you like that. So, but yeah, can you imagine? That's my great grandmother used to have a saying: "Cheaters never prosper," and I guess that's what she meant by that. Karma is a bitch, especially when Americans give it to you, I guess. All right, let's see. Who all is everybody still down there? Yes, hello, okay. Don't forget the phone lines are open. Let me know what you guys are thinking about all of this stuff. And if you seeing these people and the stories about people that aren't taking this shit anymore made me feel better, because I don't get encountered by a lot of these people. Nobody really argues with me. Every now and again I'll have and it's not an uncomfortable conversation, but he tries to play, I guess, devil's advocate. I always can talk to my nephew. He seems to like some of the lefties. Some of his family is from Pennsylvania. He was all for who was it? I know he was all against Oz when they were doing the Senate or whatever up there, and he was all for I forget his name, the guy that had a stroke and everything. And I think to myself, man, why are you? He couldn't answer this to me either. So why would you put this poor man through this? He was having trouble hearing. He was having to go through this campaign and everything with things that he wasn't used to. And believe me, I didn't even have as bad a stroke as he did. I still have problems reading. I still have problems getting things out. I hear it up here, but it doesn't come out of my mouth as fast as I want it to, and sometimes even as coherent as I want to. It's like, oh yeah, he's the best, this guy's the best. And no, he's not. It's like, and I had to ask him, because my dad's had a couple of strokes too. I hadn't had one by that time, but it's like, well, you see how Papa is. Would you put him in that situation if he was in that kind of shape? Well, no, why would you put somebody that, and plus also too, how good is he going to be at things if he can't, do things? And it's not his fault. But why would you put someone that is incapable of doing things like that in that job? Oh, yeah, he's just the best. He's going to get better. You don't know that. So, yeah, people will argue about the damn things about this thing. Let's see. Karma isn't real. It's biblical, and it's called reap what you sow. Yes, exactly. I mean, not all the time, though. These people are getting their instant reap what you sows in some cases, but it doesn't always happen right away. But it's getting closer and closer, because people are just, like I said, the way I see this. Excuse me. The way I look at a lot of these things that I have seen and am sharing is people just tired of being bullied. They've seen for the last 10 years that any little infraction or perceived infraction, it doesn't even have to be an infraction. These people will lie to get you into trouble, to get you fired, to get you ruined. The stroke of the pen, remember? It doesn't she didn't say anything about it having to be true. Or having to be, her stroke of the pen having anything to do with anything that this person has actually done that's against the law. She gets to determine that. They have decided that they are going to determine that. And then if you disagree with them, and then of course the result is a lot of the criminal minds or people, and they might not even be criminal minds. They just know they can get away with this stuff. So they do it. People know that the cops ain't coming to help them. People know that nobody else is coming to help them. So they're going to help themselves. As a matter of fact, if you want to call it anything, some people say, oh, that's racist and all this. Oh, how dare you stand up for yourself? How dare you don't just stand there and let these people abuse you? That goes against human nature. Especially, excuse me, their survival instinct. You know, I don't care how many rules, I don't care how many times they tell people that you are something that you're not, whatever like that. You're not going to breed the survival instinct out of people. That can happen. That can happen. It's been ingrained for way too long. It's like an instinct. It's like an instinct. And you know something's wrong when someone wants to off themselves that way. And is usually successful at it. Then there's something has gone wrong in that person's psyche, in that person's primal instinct. Because that's it. That's what they have. All right, here is another. This one, I think. What the hell? I was gonna say, I think this one is a little older, but again, has to start somewhere. Greetings, you're on the air.
Well, greetings to you, Laura. How are you this evening?
I'm fantastic. I'm even better now.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Cyborg, everybody.
Yep. Hey there, guys. It's good to see all the neighbors and friends. So you were just speaking about something which reminded me of a really brilliant scripture that I just recently learned of.
Excellent.
Reread.
Excellent. Please share it with us.
Sure. It's Ecclesiastes 3:11. Now, I don't have it memorized, but it goes on to talk about how Jehovah God has placed eternity into our hearts. It is our innate desire to continue living, because in our hearts, we feel that we were born for eternal life, because we were.
Mm-hmm.
Before the original sin, Adam and Eve were privy to eternal life, but they screwed it up because they sinned, right?
Right.
They ate the fruit. So if they hadn't done that, we would still all perhaps have been privy to eternal life. But the good news is that through the undeserved gift of Christ Jesus, we have that opportunity again. So we have eternity in our hearts for a reason. Because
Okay. Well, so that's not, like I just said, it's not something that they're going to be able to talk us out of, breed it out of us, shame us out of it or anything like that. And it has always been, no matter what they say, survival of the fittest. It's just the way it is.
Survival of the fittest. It's innate. It's built into us. Yep. It's in our DNA, if you will. And so it's a gift given to us by God above. And so they can't beat it out of us. Now, the weak few of us, they might beat that out of them. You know, they do have these suicide machines in Canada, and apparently they have convinced some people to make use of those things.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's when you know something is wrong. That they've totally, in this case, lost the spirit somehow.
Yeah. But see, the program, they're very good at the programming and the propaganda. They've spent billions of our taxpayer dollars learning how to control people, and they have become pretty efficient at it. It surprises me every day how effective they are at this.
Satan is the master of confusion.
That's for sure. That is absolutely for sure.
Okay, what did you say? It was Ecclesiastes what?
3:11.
3:11.
I like that cool band, 3:11.
He has made
completely unrelated.
He has made everything appropriate in its time. He has also put eternity in their hearts, but no one can discover the work God has done from beginning to end.
Right. So we've had eternity placed into our hearts, which an eternity would give us all the time we needed to understand God's works. But God is infinite, and we are not in mind. We're not perfect, so we can't understand all that God has in store for us. So I just really found that particular scripture important and profound. Because if we were just born to die, why would we have eternity placed into our hearts? Why would we fight to live and continue living under the most grievous of circumstances? Why would we continue fighting? And we do. We just naturally do that.
Right.
And so I get to see it every day, which is difficult, but it's just an interesting thought. We have eternity in our hearts because we are a spark of the infinite, the one who is eternal, right? So we are a branch of that. We're a spark of that. So we share that infinite nature, the eternity. So it's just an interesting thought. I really respected that scripture, so I shared it with you guys today.
And isn't it nice that I ended up talking about the same kind of thing? Because it is human nature. Even if you don't read, if you study at all, or even observe at all, when these people get in these fights, like I'm fixing to show you here, the guy's not going to neither one of them are just standing there waiting for the other one to kill him. They're fighting to see which one will win.
Right. I haven't seen what you were going to show here. I've seen some of these little videos, and some of them are kind of freaky. Also, I don't know what your question of the day was. I hope you'll forgive me.
The question of the day was: does it seem like the news is in a loop this week? It just seems like I've heard the same stories over and over and over and over again on both sides. And they're so freaking insignificant for anything that's going on right now. I just started looking for other things, and I'm noticing. I think that they're pushing a lot of this insignificant dribble because they're hiding things like the pendulum swing that I'm seeing when I look for alternative stuff, which is people which is like I say, which is people that are standing up for themselves because they know no one else will. People fighting back against a lot of this crap that's happening.
Right.
I don't think they want us to notice that because you know how it goes. It's actually a symptom of Trump. Once he started getting up there and not being shy about calling a spade, look at how many people followed his lead. And they are shaking in their fucking boots right now.
They are worried. We can tell that.
Mm-hmm.
They're pulling out all the stops, so they're going to try everything they can do to screw the American people out of their birthright.
Right. So I just thought today's show would be a little bit of counter that because who gives a shit how Kamala Harris talks. It's significant to some people because she's pandering. At least notice that, but listen to actually what she's saying, not how.
Yeah, well, she keeps saying the same old thing. It's like she has a speech and she just regurgitates the same thing.
Right.
Maybe changing the words up a little bit or the accent, which is total pandering. And the people that she's pandering to, they know what's going on, and they're not happy with it. If I were black, for example, and I lived in like Georgia, and she started talking to me like that, that would insult me. It would offend me. It would be horrible. Why is this dumb bitch saying this, pardon my French? Why is this dumb lady saying this shit to me? And then, like,
well, that's why I say it's a pandering thing. But what's really frustrating that side right now, and I see them fighting against it every day about. It's not how she's saying it. They are trying to make it that a thing, but what is she saying? Why can't we get some explanation as to why she's all of a sudden for fracking when she literally made actions to try and stop it? During the Obama administration, she sued the Obama administration when he gave permits in California for fracking. Why is now she's all of a sudden for the border, controlling the border? But the only reason, if you pay attention though, the only reason why she's for controlling the border is she's for passing that bill that basically doesn't close the border until 5,000 people a day have passed by. And it also increases a lot of their, this is that bill that she said that Trump was responsible for killing. And, not to mention all the stuff that she makes up. That's why I say, I don't give a shit how she says it. I want to know what she's saying, and I want to know, and again, everything so far has been a lie or staged, because she
Well,
will not
it's
explain
all
her
lies.
flip-flops on all this.
Right. Well, because it's all lies.
Exactly.
Every bit of these promises are lies.
Mm-hmm.
She is now saying that she's going to try to do something about the border, but for the last 3.5 years, she's been the number one in chief in power to do such things, and she's done none of it.
Right. Well,
So,
also too, like I say, I caught that little thing about that about when she talked about Trump killed that bill. Well, that particular bipartisan bill didn't close the border. It actually gave them more access. It was going to put more judges or more moderators down there to make them be able to be processed and come in here faster.
Right.
So yeah, but like I say, she's all for this. Oh, let's control the border, because she's willing. She can't wait to get that bill, to sign that bill. That's supposedly. So she's actually saying the exact opposite for something that we already know is not right, is not the truth.
Right.
But she's
just a liar.
Yeah,
Everything
she's
she
dying
says
to
is
get
a
that
lie.
bill passed, and because she knows that it's not a border bill. Not to mention, didn't it have something else in it too? They snuck in sending money to Ukraine again in that bill.
Almost certainly.
I believe they
It
did.
does it in all the bills.
So yeah, and she says, "Oh, Trump killed it because it would be bad for his campaign." No, the Republicans killed it because it was bad for the country, and it didn't have anything to do with shutting down the border.
Right. Right.
Like
So,
she says.
I want to make a little bit of comment on the Georgia shooting incident that happened yesterday.
Please.
While listening to the No Prisoners podcast, which was awesome, even though 451 Axel was kaput because of power issues, Kevin and Sandra handled it real well.
Yeah.
And they showed some of the live broadcasts from the AIDS channels that were talking about it as it happened.
Right.
And it was too soon to know any details, but so we have some details that have come out, and it's interesting. So for Colt, who made the M16s and M4s for the military for many decades, they had the complete contract over that. All of those rifles were a gray color. They were Cerakoted a specific gray color.
Right.
That gray color was called Colt Gray. Now, curiously, the 14-year-old child that apparently did the shooting, that was their name too, Colt Gray.
Mm-hmm.
And so that has me suspicious because, one, who the fuck names your child Colt Gray? It's the most retarded generic name you can imagine giving your child. Now, it's possible that somebody did that. I'm not saying that there's not really somebody named Colt Gray doing that, but they did use an AR-15, and it just stinks. It just stinks because
how did this kid get into school with that thing?
Right.
You know that shit
How did
doesn't
it
fit in a backpack.
Right. And, AR-15s aren't just sitting there on the side of the road that you can pick up easily and take to school.
And another timing
it doesn't work that
thing,
way.
that's what I was talking about earlier, another timing thing. Every time they do something, it's always some kind of timing that you can tell. Yeah, and unfortunately, the unfortunate part about these, especially these school shootings, is that they're willing to sacrifice these people in order to get their point across.
Well,
that's the sickest. That is the sickest thing to me. Hey, Space Cowboy, welcome to the show. Hope you're doing well today. Ebb Tide, welcome.
Ebb Tide, all right.
We have Cyborg on the line right now. In case you're just joining us.
So I just found it peculiar. I mean, I learned this morning that I had admitted his name, and I guess it's a 14-year-old young boy that looks like a girl. So it's very possible he might be one of these trans folks that are just inherently confused.
Right.
And
well, I'm not even going to call him a trans person. I'm going to call him someone that has been influenced by an adult in the wrong direction. Period. They're not. There's no such
Yeah.
thing as trans. I'm sorry.
But
This was a
you're
lost kid, evidently, and like I said, there's a bunch of talk going around on X that that the parents should be to blame for this, because the kid supposedly made some terroristic threats on social media. The cops went to the house. The father explained that the guns were safe and everything like that in there, and that he had rifles or something like that. Never mentioned an AR, but they're upset because the cops didn't immediately take this guy's guns away just because the teenager was doing stupid shit. Supposedly neighbors say that they basically didn't ever discipline this kid. He got away with everything and anything, and they never even paid it that much attention to him or anything like that. And then, of course, they're mad because the cops went over there and none of the neighbors were warned about this person's potential terroristic threats or whatever. Thank you, Space Cowboy. He says, I sound great and I look great, too. Thank you very much.
You do look great, and it's really good to see you improve. It's fulfilling. We're
I'm
all
happy.
great for you, and we're glad to see you.
Thank you. I'm not perfect yet, and I may never be, but I'm a lot better than I have been. And I even sound right to myself for a change.
Yeah, you sound great. So it's really good to see you.
Thank you.
We were all very worried. And
I didn't do it alone. All of you guys on here helped me. You stuck with me through all my things, and I'm sure that you've prayed for me and everything too. So please, thank you once again too. I couldn't be happier or more grateful.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're thankful. We are all thankful for your efforts as well. So it's all one big happy family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
That's my commentary on all that. But relevant to the question tonight, like as that story was unfolding, the narrative before they had any of the details down, they were regurgitating the party lines.
Oh yeah.
We need to get rid of the assault weapons. The guns are the problem because the fork makes you fat. Right? It's the fork that makes you fat.
Well, that's why one of my first thoughts was, what are they diverting our attention from? And it seems that there's quite a bit that they're diverting our attention from. You saw the picture, the video of our possible next vice president in the chaps and cut-off shirt with the belly hanging out. I can't imagine why people would think anything like that would look good on them. I would never, ever video myself in an outfit that showed off my jiggly, lucky fat. And I just, no, absolutely not. I don't get it.
That is a weirdo. I'm sure he has so many skeletons in his closet that he could fill a graveyard.
Well, his own brother won't even have anything to do with him. So there's usually there is a problem when you have estranged siblings or anything, because it's only been 8 years. They're adults. So something happened.
It's some weird shit. And that guy is a piece of work. He's just a piece of work. I don't know why they would choose such a weak person for it, but they don't make sense. Satan doesn't make sense.
Body shaming Tim Waltz. Not really body shaming him, just the mentality. I'm mentality shaming him because he's got a fat gut. You know what I'm saying? And most people don't want to see that. And most people don't want to see that. I don't care what they say about, how everybody's beautifulness and everything. People are still going to have their preferences there. It's not something that society has programmed into them. It is something that is primal. And they're trying to change normalcy. They're trying to change the way people look at things and do things, and because it's not inclusive. Not everybody is meant to be included in everything. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is.
All right. Here's an interesting observation. So I've gone into the men's room many times because I am male and that's where I belong.
Okay.
And
I hopefully had to do something in there too, right? You didn't just
Well,
go
yeah,
in there.
yeah.
You didn't just go in there to hang out, right?
Well, I went in there for the glory hole action. Hell yeah. No, but one of the things I've observed in many men's rooms, especially in like Walmarts or other big places, is they have a baby changing station, right?
Yeah.
You know, because there are single fathers that sometimes have to change their babies.
Right.
And I get it. That does not offend me. But I have never actually seen a man changing a baby's diaper in the male's room. I've never seen that. I'm sure it happens, but I've never seen it. Now, how shocked would I be to see a tampon dispenser in the male's room? Because the chance of that being used are nil if it's male.
You know, the funny thing about those things is they've had them in female bathrooms forever, but they never have anything in them. They're always empty. So I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you might as well just not put them. You might as well not put them in either bathroom because there's never anything in them. The same with the condom machines. They never put anything in them. And the thing is, I think this is the grift. You have to put money in to find out that there's nothing in there, and you can't get your money back.
Right.
So I'm sorry, but that's the reason. That to me is the reason why I thought that putting tampon machines in the men's room was the stupidest thing I've ever heard, because they never fill them up anyway. So they're just spending money on a machine that they're taking people's 50 cents every time. And the only other time that I've seen them put that feminine hygiene products in a male's bathroom was, I think, some grammar school or middle school or something like that. And the first thing the boys did was take all of them out and stick them everywhere, and get them all wet and throw them on the ceiling. I mean, they did what boys would do with stuff like that. You know? Hello, Resistance. Welcome to the show over there on Rumble. But I mean,
I have a quick story.
Go ahead.
I have a quick story about about condom dispensers. All right, so when I lived in Phoenix, I lived in what everybody called the gayborhood, because all around my neighborhood were all the gay bars.
Okay.
And so they were very popular, and like so. I'm not gay, and I'm not particularly interested, but, you know, I also don't judge them. It's like, hey, they're adults. They can do whatever they need to do.
Exactly.
That's fine. Keep it to yourself. It's just fine. But every day or every other day or every of the 3 days, I'd have to go to the convenience store on the main road to buy cigarettes or whatever it is I needed to buy. And, like, every time I walked by there was a gay bar right next door to that store. And I would see used condoms in the middle of the road. Like every day I walked up there, I would see used condoms just sitting there in the middle of the road. And you know how disgusting that is? It's so disgusting to see that.
That's, yeah.
Not so much that used condoms are one thing, and I'm glad that they use condoms, but you were that concerned about sex that you couldn't wait to get home? You couldn't take that shit to your home? You had to do it in your car on the side of the road. It was that important with you. You couldn't think with your brain. You had to think with your penis. It was that important to you that you screw on the side of the road. So I wonder how many wives. I just wonder how many wives were at home that their husbands were out there screwing some other dude. It's like so many questions. It's just disgusting.
It's funny.
So,
it's funny you should say that. It reminded me of a joke that Robin Williams told once. About, he said he couldn't figure out why God didn't give man enough blood to run both heads at once.
Right.
That's why they can't wait to get home. They can't think of anything else because the top head just lost blood because of the bottom head.
Right. Exactly. It's just like, so they tell us that it's just love. It's just love. Well, you know, when you see condoms on the side of the road, that's not love. That's something else. That's not love. Love means you go home because you have a home to go to, and you do those things with the person that you love.
Yeah, that's not love. That's just a physical act of sex.
Right. So when they tell us that it's love is love, that's a lie. It's not love. It's something else. Lust. and they are ashamed and they hate God because God invokes their guilt, and they all feel guilty for it. Every single one of them feels guilty. They may turn their backs on God, but they still feel guilty.
Mm-hmm.
And hence the high suicide rate.
Super Trucker, welcome to the show.
Hey, yes, I'm Super Trucker.
They're all talking about they're all talking about they've never seen a man change his tampon. It's a mind boggle. I don't know. I've never actually. I gotta say that is one thing that they use tampons for, but usually men are in prison. If you catch my drift.
Yeah, and I don't know if they hand those out pretty freely. I don't know. I don't really want to know, to be honest.
And I
want to avoid prison.
I actually had one shoved up my nose for nosebleed once. Because we couldn't find anything else, but yeah. I saw a video the other day also too. Somebody used tampons to suck up the grease, and they were cooking hamburger meat, and instead of trying to pour the grease out, they just took a couple of tampons and tapped up all the grease. So yeah, guys, you can use tampons if you want to, but more than likely it won't be in your body. They'll do in a pinch if you don't have a paper towel, I guess. Right? That just goes to show I stay on the internet too damn long.
All right, so tomorrow I have to go do dialysis, and I will talk to my friend there. Her name's Tammy. She said she wants purple, but maybe she'll be okay.
Sure, the bearer. If she wants purple, just email me and let me know if she wants it solid purple or she wants the difference, nose and mouth and all that stuff, or finger, hands and feet. So I think yours is all one color. I think yours is all one color, except for the nose.
He's all tan.
Okay.
So all the nurses there love him, and they try to tease me, but I'm like, hey, that's my teddy bear. He's keeping me company. I like him, so I'm happy to have him.
Yep, and he's handmade. He's one of a kind. You will never find another one. So
that's for sure. He's special.
Yeah.
So I'll let you know about that. I'll probably end up buying them from you and have her pay me back or whatever. I'm not worried about it.
Okay. Yes. All right. Yeah. Let me know.
All
Tampons
right,
are good at soaking up blood. That's right, Space Cowboy. As a matter of fact, didn't they use them for like first aid in like the wars or something like that too? I mean, in fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were used for that before they were turned into feminine hygiene products or whatever. I'm not positive. I'm not positive. I've never learned the history of a tampon, so.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you go, Laura. I'm glad to hear that you're sounding better, and I'm encouraging others to call you and talk to you because you have good things to say.
Oh yes, and that's the whole point. I want people to exercise their freedom of speech before it's taken away from us. Don't willingly give that away. That's my whole point, and that's why I wanted to do a call-in talk show to give other people, because not everybody can do a live stream like this, but everybody can make a phone call.
For sure. Don't give up your freedom of speech, and don't give up your rights to bear arms.
Take no prisoners.
That's right. Take no prisoners. All right. Have a great evening, Laura. It was great to talk to you.
You too. Thank you very much, and you have a great night. God bless.
All right, God bless. We'll see you.
Good night. All right. That was Cyborg, everybody, or Blue-Eyed Devil over here on Odysee. All right, go on. Now, like this particular video, we're going on with people not taking shit off of people and everything like that. Oh my goodness, it's a long time. This is a little older one I'm going to go through. I actually have some cool comedy for you tonight, too. So this, was this the last one? No, actually, it wasn't the last one. But this is a little older, but this one here. Oh, Wilford Brimley there.
There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he
Yep, they don't want to mess with. Don't mess with Texas. That I'm not sure if that's where that was or anything like that. Here's another one here. This guy's pretending to be a maintenance worker, and I don't care where you're at. I've been in apartments and I've been in. Nobody ever comes to your door wanting to check your air filter. So this guy was smart.
Oh yes, they came to check your air filters. I'm not sure. This is 38277.
Apartment. No one came to air filters.
Can you repeat that?
No one came to check air apartment.
No. Yeah, we're checking the air filters.
Oh, nobody's home right now. We'll have to wait till another day.
Oh, much appreciated. 872.
Through the door. I'm not home right now. You come back later. And then he came back later and tried to break in. Smart man. And again, ain't nobody, no apartment complexes. I don't care if it's luxury or whatever. Nobody is ever going to come to your door and ask you to check your air filters. Never. I've never seen it. And so, yeah, don't fall for that one. All right, here's another one. People, now you guys remember, I've actually highlighted this guy before. This is the HOA dude that wants to have access to inside your home and everything. And he has to do this and he was always caping on about people's packages at their door during the day and everything like that. He wanted to access your home at any time. Well, it looks like this guy doesn't take any breaks. He busted his leg somehow, but check out what happens. They're sick of this guy too. Here's the trap set, of course. She gets the package. Here's the HOA guy. Broken leg and everything. Why would you knock so many times?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We have to talk about this.
Evidently not.
Open up your door. Literally, open up your door. Yeah, that's not okay. Open up your door. Literally open it up or I'm getting my lawyers.
Oh yeah, like your fucking lawyers are gonna do anything.
I literally am gonna get my lawyers.
You're literally gonna get your lawyers. Open up before I yell it. Open up again. And again, this guy has no rights. I don't care how much you pay him. He had no rights. So I'm glad they finally got rid of. They finally got sick of that HOA guy, and I'm glad because it didn't hurt him or anything like that. And of course, they got sick of him too. And last but not least, don't we just adore these autistic gym influencers? Now, this chick claims that she was trying to be virtuous during a workout and moving to the side so this guy could see himself in the mirror. She's just so virtuous. She just kept moving out of his way. He claims that he likes what he's saying, i.e. a compliment while disparaging himself. And her initial reaction was the right one. Just blow it off. Mind you, none of this is on film. She's just telling it to us. So anything could be the truth at this point. Which begs my question, why did it take her so long? Long enough for him to actually disappear when she turned around. And to realize that she didn't have her camera on. So she goes and finds a store clerk and tries to make a big stink. Let's see what she has to say.
So an Ottawa police officer just sexually harassed me at the gym. As one does, of course. He was doing chest flies.
This is how she's dressed during this time,
I was
too.
respecting him in his fucking space and wanted him to be able to see his form, so I kept moving out of the way so that he could see himself in the mirror. And after I did this twice, he stops me and he's like, yeah, it's okay. I may just be a dirty old man. Here it comes. But I almost don't mind if you're standing in front of me while I do this. And I did what we all do as women when we get comments like that. I just went, ha ha. Turned around.
Yeah, she ignored it and turned around. Big deal. He gave her a compliment. He likes what he sees. You know, so what? You know, how... Again, another primal instinct. And I've seen it. I don't care if you're male or female. The more flesh that you flash, the more people, men and women, are going to look at you. You're out of the ordinary. Not everybody walks around in a bikini all the time, out in public. In fact, they've even made it legal for you to walk around topless in New York and California, and you still don't see it that often. Okay? So I'm not saying that she deserved any kind of, and had he touched her or did anything else but say something to her, yes, I would have a fucking problem. But he gave her a compliment. He disparaged himself in the compliment. So he obviously was joking. All right. Probably telling her, look, you don't bother me. Stay where you are. You don't have to move every time. But she's so virtuous, okay? All right. So then I'm not good.
And I was like, okay. And then when I told him that was not okay, you made me feel like,
okay, yeah,
and then when
he went and found somebody. She told him this is the rest of the video.
See where it happened. So I was like, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, like you.
All right. He did tell her he was sorry,
like, I'm sorry.
when she
And I was like,
confronted
no,
him.
Like this is not cool. It's not okay. Then he tells me I actually rescind my apology. Anyway, here's the video.
Yeah, you'll see why he does.
That's him. Ew. Oh, fuck off. No. I don't give a shit. It's inappropriate. I don't appreciate it, and it made me feel fucking uncomfortable. This is a place where I come to feel fucking safe. I'm sure. Oh, I should be. Yes, I know. And you made me feel unsafe. I don't fucking appreciate that. And for me to have to go, no, it's okay. No, it's not okay.
Nobody forced you to go, ha ha ha, it's okay. Actually, you took the compliment and turned around and did your business. Then when you decided that you could get some viral shit out of this, you went looking for him with a client or a person that worked there. So.
Okay, I'm fucking autistic. This is my fucking safe space. I come here.
Like, he knows all of this already. He's supposed to learn this by osmosis. And I've never seen an autistic person act like this or go to a gym.
Here to fucking lift, and you're fucking disgusting. As I'm moving out of the lift, you can see yourself in the fucking mirror. Fuck you.
Wow.
Wow, what?
I rescind my apology. You're nuts.
And yes, he deserved that. Okay, she couldn't just accept the apology. Of course, I went on to TikTok later on in some other videos. She asks about where all the good men are. She has never had a good experience with the men, and she wants to know if her audience has. I didn't bother reading it or looking at any of it. I don't really care. My answer, though, to that question was, these men, they're avoiding people like you. No one likes to be lectured, especially by someone that flaunts their body. Sorry, not sorry. It's just like I said, it's natural, it's primal. Men and women will look at you if you are exposing your flesh that people don't usually expose. Like I said, it's even legal to do so in some places, and they still don't do it that often. You never hear about it. All right, so, the less you wear, the more people are going to look. And that they have given you a compliment and then apologized for, what, internet clout for you? Okay? I would have told you to fuck off after nothing satisfied you too. I would have. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you think at that point. You don't want to accept the apology, fine. But I'm not going to listen to you lecture me for something that comes natural. All right? Which is mostly your fault. Okay? So my question is, what did you want him to do about all your problems? Kneel to Zod? Okay? Wash your feet? Would that have been good enough? Disintegrate into thin air? Is this what you wanted this guy to do after he apologized to you? And you just kept on and kept on and kept on? You know, they never tell you that. But it's actually because they just want to pull you down into their black hole of despair. Never-ending black hole of despair. And keep pushing you down continuously. Yelling for whomever will listen. And, yes, queen. Them on social media. That's stupid as hell, too. Yes, queen. They'll only keep roaring about this kind of stuff until you let them. Or as long as you let them. And I noticed she didn't include her reaction to him basically telling her to get out of his face after this either. So yeah, don't expect somebody to apologize. Start belittling them, keep belittling them, and then expect them to mean their apology at that point. Screw them. All right, guys, time for some comedy. I know I'm going over, but I don't care. I have comedy for you, so we're gonna find it. Now, I don't. If you have children, you may not want them to see this. This is actually the other side of HWIH. In fact, it says, wondering what the guy version of HWIH would be for the ladies. So, guys, you can tell me if this is right, and ladies, you can tell me if this is what you're looking for.
Wondering what the guy version of the HWIH would be for the ladies. Wondering what the guy version of the
I can't believe nobody came up with that before now. I don't know how long that's been on there, but I actually only just saw that today. So it made me laugh. When things make me laugh, they compel me to share them with you. And there you go, I'm tied. The lick through. I knew you guys would like that. Then reply to all comments claiming to be the victim. Yes, exactly. You must have went to her site. Oh. I was going to say, I've never seen an autistic person act like she does or do any of the things like she does on online. I'm sure there's different levels of it. But again, I haven't seen very many people that are influencers, if you will. And then, of course, to get more internet clout, they do what everybody else does. I thought that motorcycles were to warm them up. I don't know. Some people won't get on a motorcycle. Some women are scared of it. I wasn't ever. All right. And the reason why I do comedy too is that God commands us to be joyful in all things. So here we go. If you say, and I like to say, if some of these don't make you laugh, then you sleeping. You are asleep. Only a few more to go. All right, you guys. All right. That last one spoke for itself. Now I found another creator. They call themselves Good Enough Construction. They do funny stuff with funny signs, but they also do funny construction videos for wild construction and stuff that doesn't look right or that's rated pretty badly. I've got 2 of their sign funny ones, but I suggest if you have a chance, go find Good Enough Construction because they are hilarious.
Have you ever had Jussie pussies dipped in bubblegum butt finger blast and topped with Ranimo sprinkles?
I can't say that I have.
Well, I was down at BJ's Bar Cocktails and Dancing Sandwiches. I picked up some free gently used hot dogs the other day covered in ass food. And you know what that tasty ass cracker told me?
There is
no telling. They told me the fisting rules was only Adam. With you better be careful because of hot. And then he hollered at me and said, don't push. I said, I just want the mice, malo wallow. He said, you got to get them at the dog repair. What'd you say? No. What'd you wind up doing? I went down there and got some Cheech and Nougat with some mashed potatoes. You didn't get the cheese cream? Don't interrupt me. Have you ever had Jussie Pussy's dip?
Here's another one from them. Let's see. Can you see this one? Yeah. You have to look over to the left here a little bit. No. All right, here we go.
Man, where the hell are you? Run, Charlie, run! Go down that way. Which way? That way. Matthew, I don't know where you are. Just go to the end and turn right on Old Cooch's Bridge. When you get down there to the Nut Dip Cream Puff corner, turn right on the road. But listen, the left lane, left lane, and make sure you leave the damn horn at home. I'm getting a little confused. Yes, listen to me. Take a right, and a dog will lick his butt but won't eat a pickle rose. Then take that left at... And come on down to the sub-target. Sub-target! If you get to the pubic event, you're gone too far. I think you better call somebody else. And just shut up and listen. Just come on back to Gobbler's Knob and take that right on Swallow Street. And then keep coming till you hit the... And then you're gonna come to the... But don't go to the top of pole. Just make sure you turn left. Whatever you do, don't turn right down. First court, it's the wrong one. How about just give me the address for the GPS? You're almost there. Just make that left and change fill. It ain't hard to find.
All right. I want to know who did this. We got a few more. Actually, for you metal fans. I want to know who did this. Good old Tom Jones doing Down with the Sickness. That. Okay. All right, here's a little bit of church humor. One last one before we go to Marmari and send you off to Rockers. Craziness. All right, here you go. Has anybody ever had this problem at church?
Communion together. Go ahead and remove the bread. Hold it up as we pray. Thank you for your body, Jesus. Now we eat together. Now hold up the juice. Thank you for your blood. And we drink together. All right, go ahead and take your seats as we dive into as we take communion together.
I actually had to open my husband's. He doesn't have any fingernails. So, all right, you guys know I never, ever leave without giving you a little dose of Marmari. Excuse me, it's a little long, but extremely relevant, and I always have to share the Word of God with you, of course.
7-year tribulation period coming to an end hasn't started because it feels like Satan has already been released from prison, Revelation 20, and tormenting believers more strongly than the limited time he has left. The Great Tribulation hasn't started because there are certain prophecies that need to be fulfilled before Satan is fully released from prison. And now let me tell you, even though we are living in a very, very, very troublesome times, the 21st century is the end times. Not the end of the world, but it is the end of time. There is a huge difference between the end of the world and the end of time. End of time is a 2,000-year cycle. Every 2,000 years is an end of time. End of the world, only God knows when that will be. But are we living in the end of times? 100% yes, because since the time of the coming of the first coming of the Messiah, it has been 2,000 and a bit years. We've already gone into the end of times. And every end of time cycle, something dramatic, drastic happens at a global level. From our father Adam to Noah, the great flood, 2,000 years. From the great flood to Abraham, 2,000 years. From Abraham to Jesus Christ of Nazareth, all glory to his holy name, 2,000 years. And from the Lord till now, it's been 2,024 years. Definitely we are living in the ended times. Every ended times cycle or circle, the fear of God, of the Lord, diminishes dramatically. People veer off the road. People don't care about God, not interested in God. People live in a very sinful way. Why do you think God brought the great flood? Because there was a lot of marriages and divorces at the time of our father Noah. People marrying, divorcing, remarrying 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And what happened at the time of the Sodom and Gomorrah? LGBTQRSTUVYZ. Today, the 21st century has Sodom and Gomorrah and the time of Noah put together. Divorce is happening left, right, and center. Male with male and female with female is also happening at a big time and being endorsed by so many wonderful leaders, including those who call themselves Christians. They're not Christians. Possible. For someone to call himself a believer in Christ and the Church of Christ and puts that flag, it is not the Church of Christ. Don't ever call that a church. And don't ever call that a leader. Get out of my way. I was going to say something else. Christ never changes. Please, today they are coming with the poison of the snake Satan and saying in the name of love we need to embrace everyone, we need to accept everyone. Hey, the Lord is loving, the Lord is merciful, the Lord loves everyone, so let us embrace everyone. Excuse me? That's half the truth. And when you speak half the truth, it is extremely dangerous. You either speak the whole truth or be quiet. Don't open your mouth if you go halfway only, because you're destroying yourself and destroying so many people that are listening to your deceptive statement that is filled with poison. Christ yesterday, today, and forever is the same. Never changes. So if he burned Sodom and Gomorrah, he will burn it again. He will burn it. And just look at the world. Isn't it burning already? The world is lost. The world is living in total blindness and it is morally bankrupt. They call the light darkness and they call the darkness light, as the Lord says it in the book of Isaiah. Wow. Because the moment we veer off the way of the Lord, we become blind, ignorant, fools. Fools. You need to be careful. Pray for everyone, love everyone, but you cannot accept every deed that is offensive to your Lord and Master Jesus Christ of Nazareth. It's very simple. I'm not forcing you to live the life I am saying for you to live. Everyone is free to choose how to live. But whatever choices you make, don't force them upon me. And don't tell me to teach my children what Satan is teaching you. Governments have no authority over your children. The only ones who have authority over your children is God who art in heaven and parents who are on earth. No one else. The governments can never dictate. They should only protect and preserve the human dignity and identity. So yeah, we're living at the end of times.
Okay, but not the end of the world. All right, you guys. That about does it for me right now. Don't forget to support the channel. All my links are below, so click on HWIH. Also, go click around the pureblood.tv interactive stream guide and check out all the folks over there. And be sure to head on over to the Drunken Rocky Show. Let me, while I'm talking this stuff here, let me release the Kraken. Let's see. Release the scratch-offs. And, okay. Scratch-offs are released over on pill.net. Go get them. And let me see who I want to raid tonight before we leave. Let's see. All right, let's raid Belushi. Belushi raided 441 Actual on Wednesday, so we're gonna raid Belushi. Usually I do Sandra, but she's not live right now. So I think she's waiting on some equipment or something like that. She's supposed to go live again next Tuesday or something. But we may see her in 451 Actuals program tomorrow, Friend Friday. So Belushi gets the raid tonight. All right. Go scratching over there on pill.net. There you go. Okay. That actually will, it's like winning a scratch off. You earn gold pills over there that you can either collect or give away. All right. Don't forget, like I said, support the channel, support everybody over there. Be sure to head on over to the Drunken Rocky show right now on Odysee and Rumble next. You'll laugh, you'll cry, and if you wait long enough, you'll get to hear Rocky snore. He falls asleep on his stream. What can I tell you? Okay. I know that you guys could be spending your evening with millions and millions of other streamers, but I'm honored that you stuck with little old me tonight and decided to hang out with me. I appreciate all of you. Once again, my recuperation, I don't think I could be recuperating as fast if it wasn't for you guys sticking with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the comments and the calls, the shares, the up-toots, the down-toots. And you know we love our lurkers. Thank you for clicking on my little acre of the internet today. God bless you and God bless America. And as always, I wish you peace, love, health, and music. And until next time, AMF!